Nephilim invasion of America, the last Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
Our keynote scriptures are Isaiah chapter 13, verse 1 through 3, and verses 17 through 19. From the Septuagint text, which is a older text of the Bible than what we have as translated to the King James Version. So as you follow along, this reading might be slightly different, but it still flows with the basic intent of the King James. Verse 1 of Isaiah 13, verses 1 through 3 state, the vision which Isaiah, son of Amos, saw against Babylon. Lift up a standard on the mountain of the plain. Exalt the voice to them. Beckon with the hand. Open the gates, you rulers. I give command, and I will bring them. Giants are coming to fulfill my wrath, rejoicing at the same time and insulting. A voice of many nations on the mountains, even like to that of many nations, a voice of kings and nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts has given command to a warlike nation to come from a far land afar off, from the utmost foundation of heaven. Yahweh and his warriors are coming to destroy all the world. Howl ye, for the day of Yahweh is near, and destruction from Elohim shall arise. Verse 17 through 19. Behold, I will stir up against you the Medes, who do not regard silver, neither have they need of gold. They shall break the bows of the young men. They shall have no mercy on your children, nor shall their eyes spare thy children. And Babylon, which is called glorious by the king of the Chaldeans, shall be as when Elohim overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. In this time of wars and rumors of wars, our master Yeshua said in Matthew 24, verse 6, quote, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So during this time of wars and rumors of wars, they are but preludes of actual signs leading up to the end times. But when the master speaks out regarding the actual end time signs and not prelude signs as we see currently that are leading up to the end times, he states in verses 14, he states of Matthew 24, verses 14 through 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. It states, and this good news of the kingdom shall be proclaimed in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that nurse in those days. But pray you that your escape be not in the winter, neither on the Shabbat day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Messiah, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false messiahs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very chosen. Behold, I've told you before. The Master Yeshua says that the end time is preceded by a massive communication of good news of the kingdom of Yah as a witness throughout all the world first, and then the end will come. So, what is this good news of the kingdom that the Master is talking about? That is a specific message about Yah's kingdom on earth as it is enhanced, as it is in heaven. The answer to this question is based upon the good news of the emergence of the kingdom of Yah among the Hebrew captivity of Zion, which is in America, which is called in scriptures the last Babylon. As stated in Micah chapter 4, verse 8 in the Septuagint text, it states, And thou dark tower of the flock, daughter of Zion, on thee the dominion shall come and enter in, even the first kingdom from Babylon to the daughter of Jerusalem. Notice that the kingdom of Yah in this verse is referred to as the first kingdom, which means it is coming from among the descendants of Judah, who were taken captive to Babylon, America, as slaves. While they have been in exile, Zion, Jerusalem, in the land of Israel today has been a gloomy, dark tower, bereaved of its original Hebrew kingdom people. The good news of the kingdom that our Master Yeshua was referring to in Matthew 24:14 is the good news that the kingdom people of Israel have returned to Jerusalem out of their American Babylonian captivity. I return back to Jerusalem out of America will be such an awesome display of Yah's power that the prophet Jeremiah says in chapter 16, verses 14 through 15, Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he hath driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. Also in that time, the psalmist in Psalm 126 says, When Yah turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter and our tongue with singing. Then they said among the nations, Yahweh have done great things for them. Yahweh have done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Turn again our captivity, O Yahweh, as the streams in the south. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. He that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. Also, the prophet Isaiah, the son of Amos, in chapter 52, verse 2 through 9, speaks of the good news of the kingdom when the exiles of Zion leave Babylon, America, and return to Jerusalem. It says in verse 2 of chapter 52 of Isaiah 2 through 9, he says, Shake thyself from the dust, arise, and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion. For thus saith Yah, you have sold yourselves for nothing. You shall be redeemed without money. For thus saith Yah Elohim, my people went down aforetime into Egypt to sojourn there, and the Assyrians oppressed them without cause. Now therefore, what have I here, saith Yah, that my people is taken away for nothing? They that rule over them make them to howl, saith Yah. And my name continually every day is blasphemed. Therefore my people shall know my name. Therefore they shall know in that day that I am he that doth speak, because it is I. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bringeth good news, that publisheth peace, that bringeth good news of great things, that publisheth salvation, that saith unto Zion, thy Elohim ruleth. The watchmen shall lift up the voice, with the voice together shall they sing, for they shall see eye to eye, when Yahweh shall bring again Zion. Break forth unto joy, sing together, you waste places of Jerusalem, for Yah hath comforted his people. He hath redeemed Jerusalem. Hallelujah. It was when a remnant of ancient Israelites left ancient Babylon, Iraq, in 536 BC, they did not return to Jerusalem as a kingdom, but they returned as a vassal state of the kingdom of Persia. But Micah chapter 4, verse 8 in the Septuagint version speaks of the kingdom of Yah coming back to Jerusalem out of this latter day captivity of Babylon, America. It says that, and because of that, nor will we return as a vassal state under another nation of people. That is why the Hebrew community in Dimona, Israel, which is comprised primarily of a lot of people, of Israelites that came from the south side and the west side of Chicago and moved over there in the late 60s and early 90s, they did not fulfill, in the early 70s, they did not fulfill this prophecy of the good news of the kingdom of Yah. Even though they call themselves the KRY, meaning the kingdom of Yah, they did not fulfill this prophecy of the good news of the kingdom, because they, even to this day, are not a free and independent kingdom. They are a vassal community of the Zionist state of Israel, and they have no power over the land of Israel. But the Micah chapter 4, verse 8 prophecy speaks of the good news of a free and independent kingdom nation state of Israel in the Holy Land, which comes out of the American Babylonian captivity. And this must take place first before the end comes, according to the words of our master Yeshua. Micah 4:8, Septuagint version again. And thou dark tower of the flock, daughter of Zion, on thee the dominion shall come and enter in, even the first kingdom from Babylon to the daughter of Jerusalem. And this good news of the kingdom shall be proclaimed in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. It will be at the time of the end, which follows our return to Zion, that Yahweh will demolish the Gentile world powers that currently rule the world. As our master Yeshua said to us in Luke 21:24, that our captivity ends when the times of the world powers are finished. It says, our master said in Luke 21:24, speaking of us, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be taken away captive into all nations. and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles or the world powers be finished. It is in the time of the end, which refers to the time when the Israelites are returned to the land as a sovereign nation under the rule of Yahweh's law. That Yahweh begins to punish the world powers for destruction, which will result in Babylon, America even, being mightily destroyed, as described in Isaiah 13 by both human enemies and supernatural enemies, which are described in the book of the Septuagint version of Isaiah 13 as giants, or in Hebrew, they are called the Nephilim. It's stated in Isaiah 13, 1 through 5 in the Septuagint version, the vision which Isaiah son of Amos saw against Babylon. Lift up a standard on the mountain of the plain, exalt the voice to them, beckon with the hand, open the gates, ye rulers. I give command and I bring them. Giants are coming to fulfill my wrath, rejoicing at the same time and insulting. A voice of many nations on the mountains, even like to that of many nations, a voice of kings and nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts, Yahweh of the armies of heaven has given command to a warlike nation to come from a far off land, from the utmost foundation of heaven. Yahweh and his warriors are coming to destroy all the world. Notice in verse 3 of the Septuagint text of Isaiah 13 that Yahweh mentions giants are coming to wreak havoc on Babylon, America. These giants are described in Genesis chapter 6, verse 4. In Hebrew, the word giant means the fallen ones, which in Hebrew is pronounced Nephilim, where it states in Genesis 6, 4, there were Nephilim, or giants, in the earth in those days, which were the days of Noah. And also after that, when the sons of Elohim came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. According to scriptures, these giants were extremely wicked, demonic, and cruel beings in the days of Noah. Master Yeshua said in Luke 17:26, it states, and it was as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. Our master is saying that in the time of the end, it will be like the days of Noah, which would mean the return of the giants, called the Nephilim in Hebrew. According to Isaiah 13:3, these demonic giants will return and devastate Babylon, America, at the time of the end. As foretold in Revelation chapter 18, verse 2, which states, he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen and is fallen, and is become the habitation of demons, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. And then in verses 4 through 5 of Isaiah 13, Yah says, human armies as well will come to destroy America. One such nation that will be sent by Yah to destroy America are the Medes that are described in verse 17 of chapter 13 of Isaiah. The Medes are today called the Iranians. So the Bible's already called out the Iranians as those who want to destroy America. They've already been called out by this prophet 2,700 years ago. And today in the news, we see clearly that that's a nation gearing up to work with others to take out America one day. They let you know. They know this prophecy. The Iranians know this prophecy that's in the Bible, even though they read the Quran. They read some of the Bible too. And their intent, they believe that this is what they're chosen to do. The Medes are today called the Iranians, who along with their Islamic allies are even now close to calling an all-out jihad with America as we speak. And of course, as you know, the State Department is putting out a notice about traveling overseas to Americans. Also, the FBI director today in a hearing before the Congress said that sleeper cells are here in America with the intention to do devastation. And well, these are those times that have been foretold. We can't say we weren't told. All right. So this is a proof that the scriptures are true. When these things that were said 2,700 years ago are in your current news daily. All right. In verses 17 through 19, these nations that band together with the Medes or the Iranians, one nation today that has bound itself with the Iranians, Yemen. Yemen today just pronounced and declared war against Israel today and shot 2 missiles up the Red Sea towards Eilat, a real nice vacation town. I call that town in Israel, that's the Israeli Las Vegas. That's a seacoast resort town, like Las Vegas. They had to fire a new kind of missile the Israelis have not used so far in their technology to shoot it down. But that's just the beginning. In verses 17 through 19, this is what, in chapter 13 of Isaiah, this is what the prophet says from the word of Yah. Behold, I stare up against you, the Medes. I'm just going to say Iranian. Behold, I stare up against you, the Iranian, who do not regard silver, neither have they need of gold. Notice, you know, America's foreign policy has always been to send money into the equation and control through money. Well, the Iranians, they don't care about America's money. You can't buy them out. They're not going to sell out to American money. Now, they'll take money if it's given to them with no strings attached. But you're not going to control them by money. They don't care. And you wonder why they're like that. Well, scriptures tell us this is the word of the Most High. They will not regard silver, neither will they have any need of gold. Verse 18, they shall break the bows of the young men, and they shall have no mercy on your children, nor shall their eyes spare thy children. If you notice, there's a lot of killing of children going on right now in Gaza. Also, a lot of children were killed among the Israelis. In other words, even today, with the attack on the refugee camp in Gaza, a lot of children were killed. And I'm going to tell you, this is horrible. As a father and a grandfather, this is horrible. And yet, we can't say we weren't told that these times would come. No mercy for children. Verse 19, and Babylon, which is called glorious by the king of the Chaldeans, shall be as when Elohim overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, the ancient Iranians, who were called the Medes in ancient times, but are today called Iran. You know, actually, up until 1921, Iran was still called Persia. But its name was changed to Iran, meaning they're Aryans. I don't have time to go into what that really means to be an Aryan, but it's not good. But anyway, you know, Aryan nations. Yeah. Well, anyway, the ancient Medes are called today Aryan. In 539 BC, they invaded and did take over ancient Babylon, Iraq, but they did not destroy it. But they used it as a vassal state under their authority. But the modern Iranians, they know this prophecy in Isaiah 13, and they boast that they will be empowered to eventually destroy America. They always they have parades saying that's what they're equipped to do one day. As incredible as that sounds. And according to verse 19 of Isaiah 13, they, along with other nations, will destroy America like Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed, says the prophet Isaiah. Now, one of the nicknames for Isaiah the prophet was Eagle Eye, because he, 2,700 years ago, could look down into the future and see things. And so he had a nickname called Eagle Eye. And he looked down into this future and he saw what you and I are seeing now. And he recorded this because you can tell when it's talking about Babylon in this chapter, though some parts of it may fit historical Babylon, this is a part that does not fit his historical Babylon, that it would be destroyed like Sodom and Gomorrah, because ancient Babylon in Iraq was never destroyed like Sodom and Gomorrah. It simply became a deserted ghost town after a while. But America, which is the latter-day Babylon, that has recently sent its armies to potentially fight Iran and other nations allied with it, as Syria, Iraq, Yemen, and Hezbollah in Lebanon. And Yemen today just declared war on the state of Israel and shot some missiles towards Eilat today. Okay, this latter-day Babylon America is already sending aircraft carrier units and soldiers all over that area now, preparing to potentially fight against Iran and its proxies. Some of our bases, some American bases in Syria and Iraq are getting hit every day by proxies of Iran. You see, the time is late, beloved. The time is late. But like Yeshua said, you'll see and hear of wars and rumors of wars, but the end is not yet. But all we can see right now, the handwriting is on the wall, that we're getting closer to the end every day as we see Iran lined up with Syria, Iraq, Yemen, and Hezbollah, and their proxies to fight against Israel and America. And ultimately, Iran and its proxies will ultimately one day combine with other nations, will bring down America. That's right. America will go down. It's already been foretold. And it's already told us who the nations are that will do it. We've already been told this. And these nations like Iran will ultimately one day combine with others that will band together with them, such as Turkey, Russia, and China, will bring down this country. This is what the scriptures say. So as we reflect daily on the news about the spread of the Gaza war with the Israelis, which could spread into a larger regional war, let us keep in mind what our master Yeshua said in relation to these wars and rumors of wars. He says in chapter 24, verse 6 again of Matthew, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. But Yeshua testified that the end of these things will not come until the Israelites are recovered from this captivity in Babylon, America. And thereby this good news of the kingdom will be proclaimed as a witness and a warning to the nations of the world. And then the Master Yeshua says, the end will come, as he states, and this good news of the kingdom shall be proclaimed in all the world for witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Hallelujah.